Hello, welcome to the Man Cave. We have the story that I wanted to bring to you all of John Wayne Gacy, which is, who is he?
John Wayne Gacy, he was Illinois. Back in the 70s, he was arrested and convicted of killing 33 people.
Well, let me tell you how we came about this conversation. One night we were playing poker here in the Man Cave, and what happened was we were talking about two border patrols that were arrested here in Laredo, local, and one had killed, well, he's accused of killing his mistress and his 1-year-old son.
Yeah.
The second one was arrested for killing 4 sex workers?
Prostitutes. He had gone and picked them up on one of the locals' busy streets out near San Bernardo and took one of the girls out off of 83 out there and killed her.
And so the conversation turned, and Meme here tells me, oh, well, I have a original painting of John Wayne Gacy.
And it was like, who's that? I was like, that's the killer clown, serial killer.
And of course, I didn't believe him.
Yeah.
I didn't believe him. And he said that one day he would take me to go take pictures with his original painting.
Yeah.
Well, not only did he take me to take the pictures with him, but he also showed me all
the documentation
that he has.
I mean, mine is an original and it's registered. John Wayne Gacy was found guilty, I believe, in the 80s, or 1980.
I think.
And then he was finally executed on May 10th, 1994.
1994.
Yeah.
You know that John Wayne Gacy had been in prison for sodomy. He had been given a 10-year sentence. He served less than 2 years for good behavior. And he was released.
Younger or what?
Yeah, and he was released in 1970. His killings started in 1972. He would prey on young men. He actually, after he came out of prison, he started like a construction company.
Yeah.
He started a construction company, and he would hire all these young men, and then they would disappear, and they never really pinned them to it. But I don't remember exactly how they.
I believe one of them escaped and told law enforcement and everything. Then went back, and I think that's the way they found him. I mean, I'm not sure on that exactly, but I believe that's the way it went.
And most of the bodies were found buried underneath his house.
Yeah.
And
the neighbors were complaining about the smell.
About the stench.
Yeah.
He actually would get some workers. He had already buried some young men down there, and he got some of his workers to dig trenches under there. And he had it marked out, and he would tell them, hey, you can only dig here, don't dig anywhere else, because there was already some bodies there. And those trenches were the ones that he would use to go put the other bodies in. I mean, he was a sick person.
I know that he was accused for 33. He was accused for 33 people that supposedly he killed. I don't think they found all 33. I don't know how many they found under their house, but then they had a theory that he was taking the last bodies into the forest.
And to the river.
Yeah, there was a river, and he buried them up. But that theory never really
They actually in one of the, because on the ID channel they do have a lot of specials on him.
Lately, the last couple of years it's been picking up. I know there was a California last November, 2018, that they were going to show several paintings from Gacy, and they were going to auction some of them off.
And some of his paintings were destroyed because of what happened, and they didn't want any publicity on it. Right. But I was really surprised that someone from here had it, and so when we went, I actually found out that he does have this painting, And I was trying to look for the painting. I took some pictures with it, and I was trying to look for the painting on the internet. And that painting is not anywhere on the internet. There's some similar ones, but if you look at the balloon colors, they're in different order.
Yeah, and Gacy, in several of his pictures and paintings that he had, that they were almost similar, but he had some patterns in there, and to recognize, and I'm not sure if it was like per the year or as far as where he was in his sentence. So he was kind of color coordinating, something like that. I'm not sure, but that was something that I had heard. And one of the things was the balloons, the pattern of the color.
The pattern of the
and
color.
then the clown suits. On some of them, the patterns are not the same. You have to see those paintings.
And you actually do know somebody that owns one of the clown suits, right?
Yeah, well, from where I got it, I got mine painting in April, I believe.
Of 96?
Of 96, in April of 96. That's when I got my painting. So
Yeah.
it was like a year and a little bit more than 3/4 a step.
About 10 months, more or less.
10 months after he was executed, I got mine. Mine is, it's called Patches in the Woods, or Into the Woods Patches. That's the one I have.
And you know that John Wayne Gacy thought that he wasn't gonna really do any time for this. He was gonna plead insanity. He was gonna do something or another. And he actually thought he was gonna kind of get away with it. But
tough.
of course, something like that is just horrible.
Yeah, no, just the way he was thinking. He would go out and perform in little kids' birthday parties, and he would dress up as a red clown. That red clown was Pogo the Clown, which was supposed to be the mean clown, the bad clown, and that's when he would look for some of his victims. And then other parties, he was dressed up as a blue clown, which is Patches. That's the good clown. The neighbor, how you doing? You know what I mean? Good person.
And sometime when he was serving his time in prison is when he actually started painting.
Yeah, it was until he got into prison. Obviously, it was like maybe trying to make money. You know what I mean? Pay out some things, survive, maybe for himself. You know what I mean?
At the time,
So-
did he make any money at the time? I don't think he made any money from it, did he?
Some of the paintings that he made, he did sell. He did. And there's a lot of this reference in a book, which I saw also at that time that I got my painting. I saw the copy. And it was called More Letters to Mr. Gacy. The front, it was the clown Patches, and the back was the back of the clown Patches. And in this book, you had the letter of, let's say, Charlie here wrote them, and then he had on the other side, the opposite was the letter that he answered. And I read it. You know what I mean? It had Geraldo Rivera, priest, a whole bunch of people sending him letters, and then he would respond. And a lot of them were asking like for a painting. Like there was a preacher, I can't remember, a long time ago, but he was asking for a painting. There's some real famous movies that some of his paintings come out, like It, the original from Stephen King. And one of the parts where they're going through the house, there's a painting and it stops and it's a clown. That's Patches the Clown. That's a Gacy painting. And I believe in the movie Street Fighter, at the end when they're fighting and that captain's flying, as they're going, it stops again. It's a clown, and that's a Gacy also. A John Wayne Gacy clown in those movies.
And like I tell you, these paintings are very valuable now. And good thing he's not making any money from it. But these paintings are very valuable, and I was really, really surprised that it was actually true. I thought that this conversation had actually come about, and that he had told me that he had this painting just because we were talking about that, and that's
We're
why
talking
I
about
didn't-
serial killers.
Yeah, and the
No.
serial killers from here from Laredo are still gonna go to trial, but
Oh yeah.
John Wayne Gacy, do you know what his last words were before he got?
No. I'm not.
I believe they said in
I'm
one
not
of the
sure.
in one of the specials they said, and he said, "You can kiss my." There we go.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember anything. I know it's the at the time that I got my painting, the person that had him had befriended Mr. Gacy when he was in jail, and Gacy used to call him. And I heard some recordings of those conversations that Gacy was calling him from death row. Like, and they would have a conversation.
So he would use his calls to call this guy.
Like, yeah, they became friends, and one of and that's what he said. Can't prove it, can't say yes, but he said that the last call before he got killed, executed, he called him. So I mean, yeah, a whole bunch of recordings. He was like, listen, and that's where I saw several of the paintings also in crates, and that book, the More Letters to Mr. Gacy, and I actually saw. It wasn't published or anything. It was like handwritten. I mean, look at paper, just like to get copies of a book that he said that it was kind of supposed to be called The 34th Victim. And it's supposed to be, Gacy wrote it, and still in his mind, that he was innocent, he didn't do this, and that he himself was a victim, but he was the victim number 34, the last victim. It's because they said that he had killed 33. So he was putting himself as a victim. But I don't know if that book ever got published but I saw it.
And also, if it really interests you, I mean, the ID channel has some specials on him, and Reels also had another special, and it's Murder Made Me Famous or something like that.
And I do apologize. I'm sorry.
Go on ahead.
I apologize that the reason we're talking about it and not you all having your seeing it in real life is that I didn't have access to where I have it. But we're gonna have a part 2.
Okay.
And we're gonna have a part 2, and I'm gonna bring the painting. We're gonna have the painting here.
We'll do
y'all
a
can see it.
short video so that you all could see it live. We are gonna put some pictures in this video that we took with it, but he will bring it here and we'll do it live.
I tell you, the original painting right here.
One of these days that we get together again and play poker, and friendly games of poker, and we can go on ahead and bring the painting, and we can show it to you all on live. Maybe we can even run it live. So.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all for watching.
You know what? Wait. Hold on. For the first person that comments that where can you see the number 7? Hey, on the next one we'll give you a shout out.
Okay. Watch it, like it, comment, share it, whatever you.
Shout out to Mr. Gacy. Back in '94.
Not to Mr. Gacy. He's not a good
Back
guy.
in
Not a good guy.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Shout out to Meme here. He's the owner of that original.
Yeah.
And we will bring it to you.
It is an original.
Thanks for watching.